TV's Rob is unwoke. TV's Rob is unwoke. He's unwoke.
Welcome to it. It is TV's Rob is unwoke. I am your very unhumble host, TV's Rob, and happy Thanksgiving, one and all. I hope you are taking the day to celebrate with family and friends or whoever you want to celebrate with, whatever you want to eat, be it turkey or whatever. But I hope you are marking the day of genocide appropriately. Now, why did I say I hope you're marking the day of genocide? Well, as always, we can't get along. We can't agree on anything. And Thanksgiving, of course, is a holiday that is under attack because apparently America's bad, white people are bad, and Thanksgiving is really a day where we basically murdered a bunch of Indians. I don't get it, but of course everybody has to pile on. You have the woke crowd. Can you believe that Jodie Sweetin of Full House even posted on Instagram talking about this? This is just a ridiculous notion. So how are some of the people on the left celebrating this day of genocide? Well, earlier this week on Tuesday, the Women's March had to issue an apology for sending out an email noting that their average donation this week had been $14.92. The organization said it was an oversight on our part to not make the connection to a year of colonization, conquest, and genocide for indigenous people, especially before Thanksgiving Day, they said. This is stupidity and insanity beyond what the Babylon be. MSNBC also had writer Gayasi Ross to talk about the mythology of Thanksgiving, saying instead of bringing stuffing and biscuits, those settlers brought genocide and violence. That genocide and violence is still on the menu as state-sponsored violence against Native and Black Americans is commonplace, and violent private white supremacy is celebrated and subsidized. Oh my goodness. Look, okay, we get it. In your eyes, America sucks. And apparently we need to be constantly reminded of it. We can't possibly have a day where we put aside the culture wars and just celebrate the blessings that have been given to all of us, right? Don't even think about celebrating other holidays as well, like Columbus Day or President's Day. But Thanksgiving Day, especially, you cannot celebrate it without finger-wagging lectures, just to make sure that any lingering patriotism is replaced by shame.
Shame. Shame. Shame. Shame.
Shame. Shame. Just enjoy your turkey, you sorry sacks of white supremacist scumbags. Just ridiculous. I mean, that's what they genuinely, honest to God, think. Now, we were all taught, or we've all been kind of brought up on the notion of the first Thanksgiving and what it was all about and how it all came to be. But does anybody really talk about the fact that it was George Washington and the first Congress in 1789 who decided that, hey, we're going to have a National Day of Thanks Thursday, the 26th of November, and they called it a day of, quote, public Thanksgiving, unquote? Here's what Washington's Proclamation of Thanksgiving had to say when this was issued. Again, mind you, this was 1789, okay? The country had just been formed. The Revolutionary War had just been fought. The country was new and young. You think they have other things to do than issue a proclamation for Thanksgiving? But they felt it was important enough to do so. So here's what Washington wrote. By the President of the United States of America, a proclamation. Whereas it is the duty of all nations to acknowledge the providence of Almighty God, to obey His will, to be grateful for His benefits, and humbly to implore His protection and favor. And whereas both houses of Congress have by their joint committee requested me to recommend to the people of the United States a day of public thanksgiving and prayer to be observed by acknowledging with grateful hearts the many signal favors of Almighty God, especially by affording them an opportunity peaceably to establish a form of government for their safety and happiness. Now, therefore, I do recommend and assign Thursday, the 26th day of November next, to be devoted by the people of these states to the service of that great and glorious being who is the beneficent author of all the good that was, that is, or that will be, that we may then all unite in rendering unto him our sincere and humble thanks for his kind care and protection of the people of this country, previous to their becoming a nation, for the signal and manifold mercies and the favorable interpositions of his providence, which we experienced in the course and conclusion of the late war, for the great degree of tranquility, union, and plenty, which we have since enjoyed, for the peace of all in rational manner, in which we have been enabled to establish constitutions of government for our safety and happiness, and particularly the national one now lately instituted for the civil and religious liberty with which we are blessed, and the means we have of acquiring and diffusing useful knowledge, and in general for all the great and various favors which he hath been pleased to confer upon us, and also that we may then unite in most humbly offering our prayers and supplications to the great Lord and ruler of nations, and beseech him to pardon our national and other transgressions, to enable us all, whether in public or private stations, to perform our several and relative duties properly and punctually, to render our national government a blessing to all the people by constantly be a government of wise, just, and constitutional laws, discreetly and faithfully executed and obeyed, to protect and guide all sovereigns and nations, especially such as have shown kindness unto us, and to bless them with good government, peace, and concord, to promote the knowledge and practice of true religion and virtue, and the increase of science among them in us, and generally to grant unto all mankind such a degree of temporal prosperity as he alone knows to be best, given under my hand at the city of New York the 3rd day of October in the year of our Lord 1789. That's what the father of our country had to say about Thanksgiving when he issued the first proclamation of one in 1789. And it was Abraham Lincoln during the Civil War who issued another proclamation of Thanksgiving for the country. So the father of the country and the man who saved the country believed in Thanksgiving for other things. So which version of Thanksgiving are we supposed to believe? Which one do we want to celebrate? Well, apparently we can't celebrate any of them. And that's just sad. But in the spirit of the holiday, I am joined by my lovely wife, Nikki, and the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend, Tyler Morgan, to kind of dump our purses out and get the therapy session of stuff that's just really annoying us out of the way. And we're going to share the things that we are thankful for as well. TV's Rob here. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. First and foremost, it's free. We all like free, right? There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer, making it a lot easier than the way that I go about it. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more, saving you the time, energy, and effort of having to do it yourself. It is a pain. You can make money from your podcast as well with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And if you start up a podcast using Anchor, I'll be your first guest. Now, before I bring in Tyler and Nikki, I wanted to talk a little bit about this NFL sideline reporter who obviously is not totally giving thanks this year because they find an aspect of their job really disturbing. And obviously, I guess if they could, they would change it. Whatever. This NFL reporter, Melanie Collins, says she has the dream job, but there's something that's really disturbing. She loves her job as an NFL sideline reporter for CBS. During a recent Ask Me Anything on Instagram, she was pressed about whether she gets tired from all the traveling. And while yes, the answer is yes, she gets tired of all the travel she has to do for her job. She says it's disturbing how many hours of my life I've spent sitting on planes. But In the end, it's all worth it. And she shared a photo of all of the Delta Airline frequent flyer miles that she's racked up. And she added in a separate story that she's grateful for her professional opportunities. It's not lost on me how lucky I am to call this my job. Okay, look, when you get a job in the NFL and you're going to be helping with the broadcasts, guess what? It involves a lot of travel, especially when you're working for CBS, who broadcast various games throughout the week. But you're only there for a couple of days. It's not like you're there all week and then you pack up and then you move on someplace else. Look, you're covering the NFL for CBS. And I have no doubt that she really knows the game of football and she knows all the ins and outs. Have no doubt about that. I'm not questioning her qualifications at all. But I'm guessing that she wouldn't be where she's at if it weren't for, I don't know, her looks. And those fade, honey. You don't have an unlimited amount of time there on the sideline, on TV. So be thankful for it, okay? I understand that the traveling can be hard, especially if you have a family, but after doing some online digging, not seeing a ring, so no marriage, I guess. So I presume no kids. You probably have a dog or a cat or something, maybe a boyfriend. So yeah, I understand that traveling can be hard. But look, this absolutely drives me nuts because working in broadcasting, that's the type of gig that would be awesome to have. There are people lined up to have that type of opportunity. People who will never get that kind of opportunity. And to see somebody like her who says that they appreciate the opportunity, complain about the amount of travel that they have to do. She's still relatively young. Live it up. Enjoy yourself. And she does other things other than the NFL's sideline stuff for CBS. She hosts a show and she fills in and does this and that, whatever. You have the dream. Shut up and appreciate it. Let's pause a moment here to talk about protein bars. Do you like a good snack throughout the day, but you'd rather not pack on the pounds while doing it? Well, hey, I've got great news. Built Bar is here to save the day. They've got so many flavors. There's something for everyone. When you talk to a Built Bar fan, like me, they're passionate about their favorites. They've got amazing flavors like coconut, which is death for me, but hey, maybe it works for you. Mint brownie, which I love. Double chocolate, salted caramel, cookies and cream, which is great, and more. Hey, if you can't pick a flavor right off the bat, you can get a mixed box. What is a mixed box? You'll get 2 of each of their 9 regular flavors. Built Bars have up to 18 grams of protein, and they're 180 calories or less. Only 4 to 5 grams of sugar, and only 4 or 5 net carbs. But you wouldn't know it by tasting them, because they taste amazing. You can take care of your sweet tooth and still be healthy. How about that? And now you can get your Built Bars even faster. How? Check this out. The new URL is built.com. It's no longer builtbar.com. You get to save 3 letters. Think about the time it takes for you to type in BAR. Now you don't have to do it. And for you, the loyal audience of TV's Rob is Unwoke, Built Bar is giving you a discount off your first order. Go to built.com and use the promo code TV's Rob to save 10% off your first order. Use promo code TV's Rob for 10% off at built.com.
He's on woke.
All right, so here we are on the day of giving thanks for white supremacy, genocide, and lots of food. And I'm joined by the better half of this relationship, my lovely wife, Nikki.
Aw, you're so sweet.
And then we have this other guy here by the name of Tyler Morgan, who officially has, at this point, has just taken the, quote, co-host spot, because this is now appearance number 4, which if it weren't for the Star Trek episodes being cut up into 3, You would still have the record over everybody
Well,
else.
somebody's got to do it.
Yes, somebody has to do it, and
Well, somebody's
I
got to do
guess
it.
it's going to be you. So, since we are
Skippy.
celebrating the genocide and everything, Tyler, you wanted to complain about people complaining about something. So right now, what we're going to do, we're going to start off by kind of dumping our purses on stuff that absolutely just drive us crazy. But then we're going to, as Jin Saki would say, circle back, and we're going to end with something that we're actually thankful for. So, Tyler, take it away with what you brought to the table for this episode in terms of something you want to complain about.
Well, funny you mentioned dumping our purses. Well, over in the past week, the new Ghostbusters Afterlife has come out. And much to the audience approval, however, greatly to the chagrin of all the woke movie critics. And I knew this was going to happen 2 weeks ago, scrolling through Facebook, and I saw an article from The Giant Robot. I have no clue who The Giant Robot is, but I just saw their article. And they were already coming in hard that, oh, this is not going to be as good as the all women Answer the Call.
Bullshit.
Exactly. I'm like, okay, you have piqued my curiosity. I'm going to see what your rationale is. So I go and read the article, and the only ratings they have for Rotten Tomatoes at this point is the critic score. And what the all-women remake, reboot, rehashing, whatever you want to call it, they have a whopping 76%. They're not even certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, but they're at 76%.
For the
and the
critics
are, with the critics.
Of course.
And the fans had it like, I don't know, 45%. It was
still way too high.
Yeah, way too high.
Didn't they change the way that they rate it and everything on Rotten Tomatoes?
Yeah, Rotten Tomatoes, they have the critic score, and then they have the fan score. So I've never rated a movie for Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know how their criteria works, but the fan score was super low.
I think with that movie, they actually had to change the algorithm. I think that's what Nikki's
because it was
to.
So hated.
Yeah, the female one. That's why I was bringing that up. I think they had to actually change it with that one. Same thing with like Netflix. So they adjusted the dislike on Netflix for her special because it was so bad.
Because of Amy Schumer.
Yes.
Ew. The unfunny Amy Schumer. Mm-hmm. I'm a size 6. Mm-hmm. When you were a teenager.
Yeah, size 600. No, I that was mean. Oh my gosh, it's Thanksgiving weekend. I take it back. God, please forgive me. Bless the little pygmies in Papua New Guinea. Amen. But so as soon as I saw this, and then the critics score, like I said, it's the only thing that's available because it has not been wide released, so there's no actual viewers watching it. It came in like a 68, I think, for Afterlife with the critics. And so Giant Robot immediately, oh, this is a failure. Jason Reitman came in thinking he was going to do this, blah, 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 blah. This movie's just nothing but total fan service. Well, yes.
Have you seen it?
You watched it? I have not seen it yet, but just watching the previews, the fan service, especially seeing Paul Rudd in the grocery store, and you've got all the little mini Stay Puft Marshmallow Men setting each other on fire and melting each other. That is pure fan service. Yes. And it's amazing, throwing a bone to the fans for the series. And it's absolutely great. And so then now the movie has been officially released. Opening weekend, the fan score is into the 80s on Rotten Tomatoes because, they made a movie the fans actually wanted to see. Because Jason Reitman grew up knowing the material. Because his dad made the iconic movies. So he knew what people wanted. They didn't make it a reboot or anything. They continued the storyline. You have two generations are Egon's grandchildren. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen it.
Oh, God, now I'm going to have to put that at the beginning of the episode.
I know, damn it.
Warning, this contains spoilers for things. Don't say we didn't warn you. If you don't want to be spoiled, turn it off. Or just mute it, but let it continue to play out so I still get credit.
Exactly. And then they really go into the lore of Ghostbusters, especially what was established with the Ghostbusters video game. Because if you follow through, even just watching the trailers, you see a mine that's Shandor Industries, which is developed, which they really went into in the video game for Shandor, the guy who designed the apartment building in the original movie. They really went into his background in the video game.
I was really hoping they would do that because I heard that the video game is actually more of a third movie than anything because it just...
Oh yeah, it is a total compendium to the original two movies. On Xbox or Wii or wherever it's available, you really should give it a shot. I played through it probably 3 times.
It's amazing. It really is.
Oh, it's absolutely amazing. But they do all this to make a movie that the fans want to see. The original teaser trailer, where it's got the camera going into the barn, you hear someone tinkering with something, you hear the sound of a proton pack start charging up, and then you see the tarp flap, and you see the Ecto-1 license plate.
Nice.
This was, like I said, this movie, kind of like how Galaxy Quest was a love letter to Trekkies. This movie is a love letter to these people like me who, Ghostbusters came out in the year of my birth, 1984, and I probably watched it a million times, in my 37 years. To go and just say, hey, we're going to take everything about this movie that you've loved and just throw it down the shitter because, well, we need to be woke and we're going to have all women, and Leslie Jones is a large woman who will put the hurt on you if you hate this movie. I mean,
I thought she was a dude.
No,
I'm serious. I thought she was a dude. She kind of looks like a dude.
Oh yeah. My wife is a huge fan of the reboot of Supermarket Sweep hosted by Leslie Jones. So every week I get to watch her.
Ooh.
Ugh. Yeah.
Wait, they rebooted Supermarket Sweep with her hosting?
Yes. She's got the energy to host a game show. She's just not that funny.
I'd be running from her, so.
Especially every time you see people go to the meat section on this doing the sweep and they get ribs. I'd be scared she'd be coming after me for the damn ribs.
So what you want to do, your strategy to win Supermarket Sweep is to run down the aisle that you know she will never be in, which is health food.
That is a good strategy because it's almost as expensive as the meat.
There you go. See? It's all about hitting that number.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. But just watching, and it's like there was another article came out, the Mary Sue. Oh my God, the Mary Sue, which tells you all you need to know in the name of their little organization.
Yeah.
And it just like, oh my God, like the all women cast, their opening weekend, they made $46 million, and Afterlife only made 44. It's like, okay,
but we have to throw in the caveat here.
Let's throw in this caveat.
2016 versus 2021, pre-COVID,
pandemic, no pandemic, and they had to bring out that. Well, you had movies like F9 that made nearly double. And it's like, well, yeah. The reason that movie made double is people were ready to get the hell out of the damn house. They didn't care what was being in the movie theater. They wanted to go see it. And the Final Fantasy, Fast and the Furious. See, those two Fs have ruined a completely amazing video game series. Damn.
I know.
you,
I was just
Vin
about to say
Diesel.
that. I was just about to say that.
Well, what? I
But-
mean, Vin Diesel needs to work too, you know?
He's better than The Rock.
True.
But
But-
a quick side note on the Fast and Furious franchise, since you brought it up, it's amazing how it started with underground street racing in LA, and now we're
it's
flying to
international
space.
spies.
Yeah. What? I mean, we've gotten so far away from cars in those movies. It's unreal to me. And yet the Toyota Supra from the first movie is still the most iconic car out there.
And I own one.
That and the Charger.
Yeah, you always got to throw in the Charger too.
Yeah, and it's ridiculous. So when that movie came out, is at the beginning of 2021, and okay, we're opening up theaters. People are ready to get out. They don't care what they're watching, and Fast and Furious is just 100% pure escapism, and people needed that coming out of 2020. And so, yeah, there's a reason it banked so much money. But to say your movie made $2 million more than one that came out during a pandemic on the opening weekend, and is probably going to stay in theaters a hell of a lot longer than the other one did, and gross a shit ton more money, I think you might want to check yourself.
But they can't. They have to go in there. They have to get the win while they can.
Yes,
because otherwise they know they don't have a third leg to stand on.
No, they got lots to stand in that vagina though.
Exactly. Exactly right.
But yeah, it's absolutely. I really do look forward to either seeing it in theaters. I really wanted to last weekend, but life happens and things, so I didn't make it.
Nah, life happens.
No,
what is life?
That's damn. I don't know, but the meaning of life, the universe, and everything is 42.
Exactly.
That's the only thing I can tell you. That and mice
I'm
are the
waiting for it
smartest
to come to the
creatures in the
streaming
galaxy.
platforms. Exactly. I'm waiting for Ghostbusters Afterlife to hit these streaming services.
It won't. If it
I
grows
get
that
it.
much, then remember.
Dang it. I might have to get out of the house and risk the COVID with all those dirty, unwashed, unvaccinated assholes out there. How dare they?
I risked the COVID last year when I slept in the same bed as my wife when she had COVID.
I risked it every day going to work. And there were a couple of times where the COVID was really out to get me, with coworkers of mine falling down left and right.
Oh my God. Yeah. One of them in particular.
Exactly.
Who had the flu going in, then when it went into COVID. Which, how he managed to be the only person in the entire world to get the flu in 2020 and then gets COVID after it. Well, then again, he can't do anything with power tools or kicking a football. So,
exactly. You had to bring up the football thing. I still feel bad about that.
Oh,
because
I know.
I'm the reason that it happened. I'm the reason that injury happened.
Wait. Are you talking about the low rent Blake Shelton?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Ouch.
No, that's not bad. I mean, it's not an insult. It's just I noticed one day. I said, "Oh my God, he looks like Blake Shelton." I mean, a little.
I will have to go compare pictures to find that one out, but okay. I'll take your word for it, Nikki.
But one thing that version of Blake Shelton will not be doing is bringing back the sunshine.
That sucks.
No.
So the Ghostbusters Afterlife being mocked and ridiculed by the woke crowd of who obviously appreciated the all-female version, which nobody saw at all.
Ass.
Oh, you did see it?
I was in Afghanistan. I had nothing better to do.
Oh, yeah. Well,
like,
and
crap.
Your options were limited. You could either watch that or a goat show. And I guess you decided to pick the wrong thing that night.
Yeah. the Bazaar had a pirated copy on DVD for $5. I mean, you know, sometimes you buy a movie thinking it's going to be better than what it is. Sometimes you just throw that $5 into the burn pit when you get done with it.
Yeah, exactly what she did too. Oh man,
Yes.
there was nothing appealing about that movie at all. Now, Afterlife, I haven't been 100% sure of what to make of it. I've been reading some reviews. I haven't seen it, obviously. I'm more interested in seeing that than I ever was the all-female version, because basically I'm not being told I'm a sexist if I don't see it, so I'm okay with watching it.
But you're a sexist if you do see it, but you were trashing the other one.
Oh, dang it. Either way, I'm
See,
just
you
sexist.
can't win for losing, so you might as well go watch it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Can't win for losing. Screw it. Just go do it. Grip it and rip it. So speaking
Good.
of speaking of other woke mobs being ridiculous, this is actually no. I'm gonna table mine. I'm gonna pivot to, you know, the passion and the energy you brought to the Ghostbusters argument. Nikki's been holding on to a couple of things the past few days. And, you know, Nikki is a news professional. She's not like us. She's one of those people that actually has to read the news and appear objective about things. So opinions they're not exactly something she can express freely and openly on a lot of forums.
I just have to cut that out before I send it.
Yeah, because there's a lot of F-bombs in those reports before she sends them too.
Yeah, we're going, oh my God.
What is this?
Exactly. I'm not reading this, damn it. I'm not doing propaganda.
Yeah. So with her being the professional broadcaster, I'm going to give her the floor to present a pair of grievances that she's had. And of course, her name will be protected to protect the innocent and the guilty later on. So,
we need one of those like beep, you know, beep, beep, beep.
Oh yeah. All right, Nikki, take it away.
Oh God, which one to start with? I mean, there's so many. And it's funny, you usually incite them. You're the one that goes, hey, check this out. And then I get all pissed off about it. It's like, thanks a whole lot. Well, we saw that they're bringing back the Acura Integra. Okay, they're calling it the Acura Integra. It is not the Acura Integra.
And what makes it not an Acura Integra?
Everything. Well, didn't you say it looked like one of the Hondas, like almost completely like it?
Like a Honda Civic SI?
Yeah, I mean, and there was nothing. I had an Integra for my first car. It was a wonderful car. It was a cute. It went real fast. It had a race car cage, so whenever I got hit by a box truck, it saved my life. I mean, wonderful, wonderful car. This monstrosity, no. I'm so tired of car companies taking iconic names. I mean, it seems like everyone's doing it. They're doing it with movies. They're doing it out with cars. They'll take something and just slap it on there and say, oh, this is an Integra or this is a Supra. No, it's not. It's not that. And it's insulting. And, you know, I question who they're actually trying to market this to, because the people that drove the Integra are my age. I'm 42. You know, I look at this abomination and I'm like, I'm not buying that. That in no way makes me nostalgic. If anything, it makes me sad. And the same thing with the Supra. I mean, I have the Gen 5? What did you say it was?
You have the holy grail of JDM cars, which is the Mark IV Toyota Supra with the 2JZ engine.
Yeah, with like barely 11,000 miles on it. Still smells brand new. Seeing that they brought back the Supra and it's not even a standard. That's
with a BMW engine.
Oh, I mean, it's just the fact that it's not a standard. I mean,
this
my
a
mom.
Franken car?
Yes.
It's bad.
I am not familiar with the Acura Integras, so I just had to do a little Googling, and oh my God, what is this thing?
I know it's hideous.
Now look up the Acura ILX in another tab, and then look at the two cars, and tell me, if they had marketed it and sold it as a new Acura ILX, would it be more believable?
If you're gonna put the name
Yeah.
Integra on it, make it an Integra. That's not that hard.
I mean, it seriously, looking at what they're calling the Integra, it looks like it lost a sword fight to the pain with Wesley. I'm just saying. Dear God, what is that thing?
It looks like the result of inbreeding. I mean, it's sad. It's so sad. Whenever we saw the unveiling of it, the guy's just like, yes, that's really, pays homage to the original and will really bring back nostalgia. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? That ain't an Acura. That's not an Integra. I don't know what the hell it is, but that's not an Integra. So my husband, Robert and I, we pulled up actually on YouTube. They had already, within maybe an hour, already had some people creating what would be a decent Integra. It was fascinating. I mean,
Nice.
Honest to God, they need to send this back and go, hey guys, you guys screwed up. Okay. Integras, I think they maybe at one point had made it a sedan. No one bought it. Everyone bought the 2-door coupe, the hatchback. This thing, ugh.
Just looking through the pictures, a mystery car that was seen wrapped up so people couldn't tell what it was, that has almost the same front end as what was released as the Integra. It's a coupe. Apparently somebody in Japan at Honda, hey, what the people want. That was one of my complaints.
Because according to them, nobody. Go ahead.
I was going to say, that was one of my complaints about when Dodge brought back the Charger as a sedan, even though the Charger
on the
was
Intrepid platform.
Yeah.
On the 20-year-old Intrepid platform at that.
I swear to God, if they bring back the Hemi-Cuda, I will go insane. I seriously
If they bring
will.
back the Hemi-Cuda and it's an actual, makes me feel like Don Johnson on Nash Bridges, I will go buy the damn thing.
Yeah, I still want the original.
Yes.
She wants the one from the movie Phantasm.
Yes, I want the Phantasm car. Oh my God, that's the
believe it or not, one of the joys of living in, you find people in the most random places who do things like Mopar restorations and sales. Little tiny town of Sleeper, Missouri, population 20. They have a guy, that's all he does is he restores these old Mopar cars. And he has had some of the most beautiful Cudas and Challengers and Chargers come through there. And there's times you'll go in there and you'll find the body. It is painted. There's nothing on it. There's not even engine or transmission in it. It is, you can buy the body and the rest of it is up to you. I mean,
wow.
Like I said, I grew up, I don't know for how long, driving past that little spot and just seeing these beautiful cars.
That could be a very, very dangerous place for one Nikki.
Yeah, I want that. That's why I'm not interested really in any of the cars that have come out. I think I saw a Z that it was okay, but yeah, most of them.
Yeah, the new Nissan Z looks great because it looks like a Nissan Z. Yep. It's a nice update and refresh of the line that we've known for the past 50 years. Every generation of, there's been a couple of generations of Mustang that have really sucked along the way. Like the Mustang 2, which that one was more out of necessity than it was anything else.
Hey, didn't they make the new Z a standard only?
They offer an automatic transmission, but you have to pay extra for it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
As it should be.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Right.
You shouldn't have to pay for the manual transmission.
Well, I remember back in the day
for the automatic.
Yeah, used to standard. That was kind of like the cheapest model. You would go to a car lot.
Standard.
Yeah, But
Yeah.
now you got to pay a fortune to get a standard because nobody knows how to use it. I don't even know how to drive one. I have to admit, I mean, everybody's always asked me, hey, how come you never took your mom's car? I couldn't figure out how the hell to get it out of the garage. I was afraid I'd go forward.
Yeah, I'm used to transmissions that have, between 10 and 18 forward gears. So
yeah, you can handle a 6-speed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You might feel a little weird with a 6-speed. Might be thinking, wait a second, this is all I've got? Where's the rest?
Where's my high range at? Come on.
Exactly.
But I don't understand them making these cars that obviously aren't going to sell, especially when you're seeing they're pushing these electric vehicles, which that's a whole nother rant. I mean, that's just wow. What?
Yes, I believe Rob has already done a rant on the Mustang Mach-E, so we will just
I was
let him
doing
reference
everything
back
I
to that
could
episode.
Not mention that. Yes.
Yeah, he ranted all day today whenever we were driving about the Teslas. So
okay, Tyler, I kid you not. Okay, so I am leaving a particular studio one morning, and there's a stretch of road that from that studio to the highway that is a mile tops.
Right.
Pulling out of said studio parking lot, 3 Tesla Model 3s drive by, or I think they were Model 3s. They all look alike to me. 3 of them drive by. 2 of them were white. The only difference between the 2 white ones was that the back lip spoiler on one of them was black, and then another one was just solid black. I get to the signal light at the corner. There's another one. I get halfway down towards the highway. There's another one. 5 of them within a 1 mile stretch of road. Then when I get out here to the country, okay, we live 37 miles from said studio. Driving down a 2-lane country back road highway, I saw another 3.
Yeah, it's crazy how they're right now.
I don't like it.
I don't either.
The factory that I work at, our engineering department, there is someone back there who has one. I see it every day.
Ugh.
And
what
he
keeps
likes
you from keying it or burning it to melting it?
the security camera on the corner of the building.
To it. Okay.
And here's the best part. He loves to park in the way. So where I work, I am the yard driver. I am the person who moves the trailers from the yard, from the yard where they're all parked up to the plant to get loaded, and vice versa. And this guy loves to the way where it's like, hey, I have a 53-foot trailer I need to maneuver, and your damn car is where I'm going to drive over it if you don't move.
So,
and it will be my fault if I hit it because I'm the one who is considered a professional driver because I have a Class A CDL.
Okay.
Yep.
That guy really needs his ass whooped.
Our entire engineering department needs to have their asses whooped because, we're engineering department. We are the money makers for this plant because we build so much expensive shit that makes this plant run. So we can do whatever we want. Talking on cell phones while driving on company property. We can speed on company property. We can drive behind semi-trailers that are backing up because we are invincible.
And we can park our Teslas in the way. See, and
yeah.
Okay, I was having this discussion with Nikki earlier, and tell me your thoughts on this, Tyler. I don't have a
assholes.
I don't have a problem with electric vehicles per se.
No.
What I have a problem with, Teslas in particular, the culture of douchery that comes with it.
Yes. Self-righteous, self-entitled assholes.
Yeah.
I mean,
do I think electric vehicles can be a good thing? Yeah. I mean, when you see some of the performance numbers coming out of some of these models, I'm thinking, wow, that is sick shit. But
yeah, I would love to get my hands on a Tesla Plaid
Yeah, the Model
because
X flat or
ludicrous
whatever it is.
speed. Because ludicrous speed, yes.
Yeah, that ludicrous speed. I love the ludicrous. I just love the name. I don't even know if it's really that fast. I mean, the numbers that they allege are just straight up insane. I mean, 2.3 seconds, 0 to 60. That's really insane. But
that is some G-forces.
Yeah, now, of course, just quick note, Mustang Mach-E, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. I will never accept that.
So tell me how you really feel.
If they had named it anything else, I would have been okay.
Oh, yeah.
It. But you had to pick that name.
They wanted to have a recognizable badge. That's the only reason why they did it. And I am ashamed to say it. My wife actually likes the Mach-E's. I'm working on divorce papers right now over
I was
it
gonna
because
say,
it's just so ridiculous.
Have the lawyers gotten involved yet?
and this is coming from a guy who in 2015, because I was at Fort Hood and driving a Chrysler 200 all the way across Fort Hood from where I lived to where my unit was. That little four-banger engine was burning so much gas, which you would be surprised at the incredibly shitty gas mileage they got for a four-banger mid-sized car. I voluntarily bought a Prius.
Oh, man.
And I didn't do it because, oh, look at me, I'm so good, man. I have a Prius. I was like, yeah, it looks like a golf cart with windshield and doors. But hey, I spend like $15 on gas and I can drive 2 weeks. That's all I cared about.
Yeah. See, it makes sense from that standpoint.
I don't get virtue signaling with a car. I mean, that's a big purchase. I mean, what the hell? Are you insane?
I didn't. And even though I'm pretty sure the Obama subsidies or the tax credits you could get for hybrids, I'm pretty sure they were still in effect in 2015.
Yeah.
I didn't even turn that in.
Yeah. So, I mean, you weren't doing it to show, look at me. I care about the environment. I care about the planet. I care.
Oh, I immediately went out and I burned 3 tires.
See, I don't care about the environment. I don't. I'm like completely. They have pushed me to the point where whenever it's Earth Day, I will run every appliance, have every light on. I mean, it just. I want to do the complete opposite.
I would like to say that I use as many renewable resources as I can to heat my house in the winter. That's because trees grow everywhere, and you can cut them down, burn them, and more trees will grow in their place.
It's funny how that works. It's almost like it's cyclical. It's a cycle.
And speaking of that, we've got these people that keep coming around to our houses and keep saying, hey, do you want to put these solar panels on? And they're hideous. I mean, I'm not exactly a very nice person whenever I answer the door. the guy's like, oh, I'm like, no, they're ugly. Well, no, they're ugly. Get out of here. No, I don't want them on my house. It's hideous. Well, why do they look hideous? They're stupid. I had a company
that installs solar panels calling me, trying to see if I wanted to get my house looked at and an estimate for solar panels. I'm like, no, I'm not interested. It's like, well, here, let me just pull up your address here. And it's like, oh, we would have to get rid of those trees in front of your house. I'm like, oh, hell no, because the way the sun hits my house, if those trees weren't there, my electric bill would be through the roof because of the amount of sun hitting my house.
Yeah, exactly.
I want the giant right where it is, shading my house in the summertime.
Yeah, we had one of those solar guys come by not long after the great freeze snow ice apocalypse of Texas of 2021.
Yeah. I don't even see how they can go around and try to actually sell those after that because they were in the dark just like us. So the whole point of it, I don't get it.
Yeah, because you get ice on the solar panels, they don't work.
Exactly.
There were a couple of houses that actually
had the sun or something.
Exactly. They were they were without power the entire week that we were without power.
Because we
And
made sure and pay attention because we were like, okay, these people are their lights on? Nobody. So they weren't in any better position than we were. So it's just their house is ugly now.
So what's the point of me having it if it's not going to power my if I have no way of actually harnessing that power for when my power goes out? What's the point of me having them?
Virtue signaling.
Well, then that's when you give give even more of your money to Tesla, and you get the Tesla Powerwall installed in your garage. It takes up so much room that you can't even hang shelves on your walls anymore.
Yeah. So what's the point here? I'm sorry. What's the point? I'm not seeing it.
Yes, I one of your coworkers, who shall not be named, but he's an Air Force veteran who loves all of his tech.
Oh, I think
he was so happy to show on Facebook and Twitter his Tesla Powerwall that took up his entire freaking garage.
Yeah.
Well, at least he had power when everyone else didn't, because he had his power bank, or at least it lasted him for at least 5 hours.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, unless it was going to do the job throughout the day, throughout the night. Sorry, I'm really not interested.
Yeah, but if we have an EMP, they'll really be useless.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the other thing about electric cars. What happens when China or North Korea or Russia decides to, hit us with an EMP?
They ain't gonna move. Nope.
And that's
what
why
happens
I'm
when
glad
Tyler
my
Morgan
Jeep
finally
is all
loses
mechanical.
It. And
see, that's why I want my CUDA so bad, because it will go.
There is no electronic fuel injection. You have a mechanically driven fuel pump. You have a carburetor.
Yep.
Everything about it is pure mechanic American muscle.
Yep.
No need for electronics.
Yeah, see, that's exactly right.
I feel like that scene in Too Fast, Too Furious, where the guys in the old American muscle cars are going up against the rice burners.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pure American muscle, baby.
Yeah, nothing beats American muscle. Well, the Matchbox cars can sometimes do it.
Yeah. So, Rob, what's got you all pissed off right now?
Well, Nikki had one other thing, didn't you?
Oh,
I thought she did.
Yeah, I guess we could cover it really quickly.
Go for it.
Well, speaking of movies, Robert and I have a really hard time trying to find something to watch that doesn't piss us off. And we've been watching wrestling, and they show the advertisement for the Chucky series. So I love Chucky. I was really pissed about the reboot. That was just an absolute abomination. So I'm thinking, okay.
Mark Hamill is the voice of Chucky?
Yeah, and the new series is made by Don Mancini, the actual creator, and you've got Brad Dourif and Jennifer Tilly. That's amazing. Okay. Robert and I sit down, we watch it. We want to just scream within, 10 minutes of it. I mean, I don't understand it. It's a horror film about a doll that kills people. Why is it pushing an agenda? The whole thing is...
Oh, I remember seeing about that, because apparently before the guy whose body inhabits Chucky, before he died, he had a kid, and apparently his kid grew up to be bi or something. I don't know.
Well, like the main kid so we watched the pilot, the main kid that buys Chucky from this garage sale, which Nikki will get into that whole thing in a minute. Apparently he's gay. His father is a drunk mechanic who doesn't like the thought of his son being gay, apparently. So you have the gay kid with the shame-filled dad who shames their son for being gay. Then this airs on USA Network, which I know on cable you're not exactly bound by FCC rules, but for the most part they've always abided by them for the most part. How is it in
NBC
one episode?
Universal, so who really cares? They're going to do what they want.
You got 4 F-bombs in one episode.
No, 6.
6, yeah.
6. There were 6.
I mean, the only show that had a recurrence of a word that many times or more is Deadwood with the word cocksucker.
Yeah, that was unsettling. That's the only reason I got Robert to watch it. Is like I was like, I cannot believe I've never heard this word said so much before in my life. I mean, I was like, well, you've got to sit here and watch this, honey. It's strange, and we just got hooked on it, and we started keeping a tally. We're actually starting over to see if it was correct because I mean, they say it just. I think there's one episode where it just cleans up. It's just how many, like 20, maybe almost like 25.
That's like go back to Game of Thrones and count the F-bombs in Game of Thrones. You wouldn't think for, if it was this world, it would be medieval times. That word would be floating around as much as it did.
Yeah, you would think that's kind of weird. But the other thing in that series that was really just driving Nikki crazy, and that's because she's hardcore about her fandom for this particular franchise and everything. But of course, being at the age that we're all at, we have different definitions for things. What is the difference between retro and what was the
they would keep coming
vintage?
up. Oh man, that's vintage. No, it's retro. What the hell does that mean? What? It was a constant thing. I think they said it 3 times. Oh man, that's a total vintage doll. No, it's retro. I just want to just take and just beat myself in the head with a baseball bat. I mean, that whole series, I'm very sad about.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, retro would be something that's made to look in the style of something, and vintage is from that era.
Right, and what this guy had was from that era, so it made zero sense. Right. And
like they call them vintage tees. No, they're retro tees. They're not vintage. Stop it.
I know.
Yeah, exactly. So what the hell gives here?
But another thing that bothers me is that series should be aimed for, again, people my age. I was sitting there watching it going, what the hell is this? I mean, it seemed like a music video. Like constantly there was like a song playing in the background. And I'm like, what am I watching? Am I still watching Chucky? Where is this? I mean, at the very last, 5-10 minutes, it redeemed itself. But we're still too scared to watch another episode. I mean, it's just so bad. It's so bad. And I love Brad Dourif. I love them. But yeah, I don't understand it. I don't get who half of the people are marketing to anymore. I mean, they take stuff from my era and I don't know, they just twist it and turn it. I mean, I see kids wearing Nirvana t-shirts. They don't even know what it is. I mean, I saw some pompous article written by some kid that's probably like 17 years old, actually giving their opinion of what they thought of the album Nevermind, that it was overrated and that Kurt Cobain was trying so hard to be different. This chick didn't even research it. She didn't know anything about it. I mean, it's just, Robert, he wasn't.
Speaking of Kurt Cobain, do you know what Kurt Cobain and Michelangelo have in common?
They're both dead.
They both painted a ceiling.
Oh, that's sad.
I think I broke Rob.
That's sad.
Ooh.
It might be sad, but it's not wrong.
Yeah, but I still don't think he did it.
But there's one clear difference. Michelangelo did his ceiling painting himself.
Courtney helped with Kurt's. That was a collaboration.
Yeah. She almost got you there. She almost got you.
I'm glad I put the Coke down, or else it may have sprayed across the office.
She almost had you. So, all right, so go ahead, Tyler.
I was going to say, the show I've gotten into recently is the Dexter New Blood on Showtime.
I've been scared
wow!
to watch that.
See, my wife and I, we really got into Dexter. We started it late, and so then we kind of got sidetracked and never really finished the series.
You didn't?
So No, we didn't. So when we found out they were going to release New Blood, we went back to watch the last season to make sure we were caught up. And I liked the way the series ended originally. And then New Blood actually does a really good job of not pissing off the fan base.
Ooh, that's unusual.
Yeah, they again, because this is a spoiler, but they bring Harrison, who is now, a teenager. He tracks Dexter down and comes back into his life. And so now you have him trying to balance all this stuff in a life that he's rebuilt after running away at the end of the first series. And then now this comes into his life. And I think we're 3 episodes in. And my wife and I look at each other at the end of the episodes going, why are these only 1 hour? We need more.
I love Dexter. I just think it went off the rails in the final season. I was just like, whoa, okay. I was fine up until the whole Deb and him. Yeah, that was just weird.
Yeah, I need to get into the books, the Dexter Darkly Dreaming books, just because I want to see how big of a difference there was between the television series and the books.
Well, my husband has the Dexter bag that he carries around.
Yes.
How many slides with the spots of blood?
Don't know. It smelled like pepper mace though when we first got it.
Yeah, it did.
Interesting.
Yeah, it took some working to get that smell out of there too.
It's a very unique smell.
Oh yeah,
yeah, very. Pungent.
All right, so Rob is pissed off. Why is Rob pissed off?
Well, I mean, I'm always pissed off about something. It's just a matter of what is it today that has me all up in a wad. So I'm just gonna throw these out there. Salvation Army being woke, going woke. Now they're gonna lose donations. Those dumb sons of bitches. I mean, why?
Yeah, I think they started that last year with the wokeness,
but nobody paid attention to it last year because
true.
I mean, they were hurting for donations to begin with because nobody could go anywhere.
Right.
So now they have some of their largest donors pulling out because we're sick and tired of CRT. We're sick and tired of the critical race theory. White people are bad. And the Salvation Army also wants white people to apologize for their whiteness.
Yeah, they can kiss my ass. I'm not apologizing for anything. This is so stupid.
Did I personally do something to you? If I did, I will apologize for that. But just because I'm of pasty complexion and this weird brunette with ginger beard, I can't apologize for something that's genetics.
Well, apparently you have to. The Salvation Army says you need to apologize for your whiteness. So Salvation Army, it was nice to know you. Nice seeing you every year at this time. May you fade into obscurity and may nobody ever give a damn about your organization forevermore.
Yeah, go woke, go broke.
And that's already happening. I mean, we're talking within just a couple of days. They've already lost a lot of their major donors.
And here's the thing:
if Jerry Jones is still going to suck the dick of the Salvation Army.
Now, I keep trying to think what's going to happen. Are people going to still keep pushing this go woke thing? I mean, inflation, prices going up. When it starts actually hitting people and really starting to affect them, are they going to continue down this road? Because I don't see how it'll be possible. I mean, right now, people don't give a crap because it's not affecting them. But once it does, I really don't think they're going to be so hung up on, oh, I'm white. I'm sorry. I need to apologize for that. No, we're all going to be broke. It won't matter what color you are. We're all broke. So.
And I'll still be white.
And I hate everybody. Yep. So, I don't understand it. I don't single people out. I hate you all. Indiscriminately. Equally.
I love you. Can you be my new wife?
And she's not lying. She hates everybody.
I do.
I've said that. That's something I've said forever. It's like, I don't discriminate. I hate everyone the same level. I just hate more people. I hate certain people more than.
Now, I've had two people in my life try to call me a racist. One of them was my ex-fiance's little brother, and I was like, okay, yeah, your brother is Asian, so you might want to walk that back, Tony. And then when I was working at KRLD, this black guy I was working with, he was actually a football player for the indoor arena. I can't remember the name of the team.
The Dallas Desperados.
He was trying to, really just insinuate that I'm racist and that all white people are racist. I just turned and looked at him and said, you know what? I don't care who you are. I hate you. I hate all of you. I hate everyone. I hate everyone out there. I hate listening to the show. It doesn't matter. I'm an equal opportunity hater. I hate you all. And he just laughed.
What do you mean, you people?
What do you mean, you people? Huh?
Yeah.
I watched that with my daughter a few weeks ago, and she's like, "Oh my God, where was this hiding?" Tony Stark in blackface is hilarious.
To this day, still not canceled, still not removed. Everybody is still all for
they
it.
tried. They tried, but Robert Downey Jr. wouldn't apologize for it.
Well,
No.
and Jamie Foxx gave him the okay.
Well, who cares what Jamie Foxx?
I mean, at least a real
He's
black
the worst
person gave
electro in the
pass.
history of electro.
Oh, I know. Oh my God, he's an abomination. I don't know why they did that. I just don't.
But I gotta say,
at
at least in that case, a real black person gave Robert Downey Jr. a pass, because we saw this past week Sean King, the fake black guy, give a pass to one of the white guys that Kyle Rittenhouse killed for using the N-word.
Do you think I could get away with playing a black person? I mean, I'm
No.
white as can be. Well, if Sean King can, why can't I?
Well, I mean, I guess you could be South African.
Yeah, I've had black people tell me, you are so
South
white.
African.
You're so white. Even Latino people, when I try to speak Spanish, which is absolutely horrific. I've even lost a
Donde
job.
está la baña, por favor?
And
Yeah,
I'd like to point out that Elon Musk proves that you can be African American and be rich as fuck.
he's African
Absolutely.
And
American.
be successful. He's South African.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's from South Africa.
Okay.
But,
Gotcha.
but African American.
That is true.
So people need to shut the fuck up and just, start doing the work
I just need to stop getting hung
and
up.
get a huge government contract.
I just don't get it.
yeah.
I mean, why be a victim? Nobody is stopping you from doing anything. You're stopping yourself. You want to say that the white people are putting you down? No, I'm sorry. Actually, yeah, okay, the old white people that you've elected into office that think that you're idiots, but everybody else, I really don't see that many people that are racist. I mean, it's more on the other side. If you're actually pointing out race, then you're the racist, because I don't see it. I just don't think of people like that.
Some of the most miserable people I've met in the Army were, there'd be black guys and Hispanic guys both who are like, I can't get ahead because of my skin color. I'm like, what about this guy I recommended for promotion who's the same color as you, who actually busts his ass to earn that promotion? What's holding him back? If you're being held back because of your skin color, why is he not being held back?
Well, because you recommended him for a promotion, you're obviously holding the other ones down.
Well, I've
with
noticed
your white supremacy.
I noticed that
Yeah,
more
and
and
then
more.
at which point I recommend for Article 15 for insubordination against a non-commissioned officer. Boom. Fix that. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes, such as demotion and lost 2 weeks' pay. Restricted to barracks
Smart.
for 2 weeks. How about that?
All right. So, quick question. Has anybody heard the term pretty privilege?
Oh God, no, not that's a new one.
I have, and I've never gotten to use it. I
Oh, wait,
can't figure out why.
I think I got to use it once. That was back with the whole football thing. Where I got to use that, but it wasn't actually defined that. It was just like, oh, it's a good thing. You're pretty.
Although I do believe in pretty privilege, I believe it happens because you see these teachers who look like they were beaten with a bag of nickels, who get having sex with their students. They go to prison. But the one they were just off the cheerleading squad, They get probation. And now, don't you do that again, Missy.
Well, yeah,
I believe
it's the
it
whole hot
happened.
for teacher.
Well, the fact that they got caught in the first place, I mean, okay, look.
That's because the kids are bragging, except for the other ones. I think they're trying to find sympathy.
Well, see, that's the thing is that for me, I'm thinking, back in high school, there were a couple of teachers I definitely would have gone to bed with. And I definitely would have been telling my friends, but we all would have had the understanding of you keep your fucking mouth shut. But of course, this is pre-social media and camera phones and all that. So
I'm so glad I was raised when that wasn't around. God, I could only imagine what would happen. All the stupid crap I did.
Boy.
Yeah, no photographic proof it never happened.
Exactly. And if there was any, I've destroyed it.
I don't know. I was a nerd in school, so I wasn't getting into these kind of trouble.
Stupid shit.
I don't know.
Yeah, I was a nerd too, but not a very good one. Not a very good one.
Apparently, I was the most well-behaved nerd in all of well-behaved nerds. So I feel like a letdown to everything about me.
Yeah, as you grab another bottle of booze.
leave my scotch alone.
Oh, it's all good. Trust me, I'm salivating and getting thirsty myself. So the reason I bring up pretty privilege is that there's a female construction manager who's saying that her male coworkers don't take her seriously because of her looks.
Was she walking around with like her tits hanging out or what?
Well, apparently, yes. I mean, because apparently there are days where she decides that she wants to dress up, show the girls off a little bit. Now, she calls herself a curve model, and she's actually registered as a curve model for a modeling agency in North Carolina. Now, see, that's the thing. I had to actually go look it up. I'm like, what the fuck is a curve model? Because I guess I have hit the point in life where I need to look up these new stupid ass terms.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of saying plus size, we say curve.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So she's thick. Okay.
Well, that's the thing is that looking at her, I didn't see just thick. There were some shots that, you're past thick. So are they really not taking you seriously because of your looks, or are they not taking you seriously because obviously you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about when you're talking to a bunch of construction guys?
That, and they probably don't know what they're doing either. They probably can't do their job very well.
I mean, now she explained to her 13,000 TikTok followers, which,
oh God,
13,000, that doesn't sound like a whole lot when you consider, people like Kim Kardashian with 60 million or something like that.
Yeah, but this is a regular Joe. I mean, that's a lot. I barely have like 800 followers on Twitter.
She says
I would have a lot more followers on Twitter if I quit doing dumb things like, calling Brian Stelter a pansy and getting my accounts closed. I'm only on account number 3.
Look, I mean, when you're speaking truth, you shouldn't be penalized for it, but you are. I mean, so you know what?
It's not my fault that he's a feckless freaking
twat.
Potato head.
Yeah, and he's just a general twat. Straight up.
Oh my God.
And okay, think about this, Tyler. I swore that Brian Stelter was older. The motherfucker's only like 36.
If I'm not mistaken, I'm the youngest person in this conversation, and he's younger than I am.
By just that much, you're the youngest. I mean, so, and he's younger than all of us, and yet he looks the oldest. That's what hate and being a twat will do to you.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. He still seems to have a lot less wrinkles than I do because, of course, I've earned mine the good old-fashioned way.
It's just Botox.
Probably true. I don't know. I have seen some of his more candid pics. And yeah, the Botox probably right, but of course, then again, I also have how many months spent deployed overseas in war zones, getting shot at.
You've done real shit.
Baking.
Yeah, you've done real shit. This guy's just lived in a studio or lived a comfy life. He obviously did not come from humble
he
roots.
lives under the desk of Jeff Zucker, and anytime there's a meeting between the two of them, it's usually exactly.
But of course, Jeff Zucker's leaving, so you know.
Maybe he'll go crawl under Jeffrey Toobin's desk.
Toobin's got that covered. Hello. How you doing today, righty? I'm good.
Your girls are your right and your left.
Exactly. I turn chicks down left and right. Your chicks are your left and right. So this chick explained to her TikTok followers that it's 100% true that pretty privilege does exist. And yes, it is absolutely rude how when people find you attractive, they are generally just nice to you for that reason and that reason only.
Wait, if I'm single and I find a chick attractive, the biological lizard brain urges in me that say, procreate with her. Should I just be an asshole and club her upside the head and do some R. Kelly shit? What are you doing here?
Yes. Pee and all.
I mean, I don't know what's going on. I was always trained to hey, if you like someone, be nice to them. It increases your chances of procreating.
Yeah. I mean, it's shocking to me how women are like that today. Nikki especially can't stand it because these women think like, oh, I have to be I'm a strong, independent woman.
Yeah, that's what pisses me off.
Don't hold the door for me, you sexist jackass.
It's just turned a lot of men into betas. Yeah. Gone are the days of gentlemen because of stupid feminists. So lame.
Chivalry didn't die because men became self-serving assholes. Chivalry was murdered by third-wave feminists who don't want men to do nice things for them.
Yeah, I mean, most guys are terrified. You open the door for, why'd you do that? I'm not going to hold it open for you now.
Because it was the polite thing to do to someone else coming through the door after me.
If you say ma'am, if they get all pissed off.
I love to do that. The more Karen a woman is, the more condescending of a ma'am I drop. Tell me that. Okay, I'll call you
so
mad
bad
and I'll insinuate that you run a whorehouse.
Nikki, I like how she just slid that in. I feel so bad for people named Karen.
I'm just glad it's not when people are Nikki's or Nicole's. I'm happy it's not that. Let's never make that a thing.
And I can't even remember what the guy equivalent is.
At least you're not Stacy.
I think Todd.
But hey, Stacy's mom has got it going on.
Yeah, 8675309.
No, that's
Jenny. That's Jenny.
Or is that Stacy's mom's name?
Stacy's mom's name is Jenny, and at one point, damn it, she was Jesse's girl. There we go.
There you go.
My brain just went completely. It just froze.
It's okay.
I need to get blown up more often. My brain works better.
So you could have just blamed it on like delay with the video. Oh, it was a blip. That's it.
No, because my brain just decided it wanted to stop the sentence. It does that on occasion. Kind of like my heart just likes to stop and take a break and go, all right, we're good. Meanwhile, my chest is like, beat, damn you, beat, this hurts.
Do the thing.
Yes.
Right, so
sick sinus syndrome. It's very painful. Don't ever get it. It hurts.
So we have the Curve model who says pretty privilege is a thing. When I say the name Emily Ratajkowski, whatever, however you pronounce her last name, yeah. If anybody's ever seen the Robin Thicke Blurred Lines video, she's one of the 3 topless chicks running around in it the entire time.
Who?
Yeah.
Isn't that Alan Thicke's son?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Oh yeah. He got sued over that song.
Yeah, he got sued over that song. Well, she was in the video dancing around topless in a nude colored thong. Well, she is complaining now that she's 30, rich, still posing in scantily clad outfits, has a lingerie and a swim line. She's now complaining about her sad, beauty obsessed, and sexualized childhood.
Self-awareness much?
I mean, look, I think we all need to take a moment to, have a moment of silence for Emily's sexualized whatever childhood.
Give me a break. She capitalized on it. She's just burning it down.
Let's not, because we take that moment of silence. We're going to hear Jeffrey Toobin having his moment of silence.
Ew.
Who let Jeffrey in on this call?
One of the fortunate acronyms in the Army is for the Family Advocacy Program. FAP.
Yes. That's awesome. So obviously
I wish I was joking.
So obviously we feel no sympathy for this Emily Ratajkowski.
No.
Yeah.
If she wants sympathy, she can look in the dictionary somewhere between shit and syphilis. She'll find it there.
Yeah, there you go. And she also had her own NFT thing a few months ago. She also has a forthcoming book of essays called My Body. Actually, it has just been released. So My Body is a book of essays where she writes about the price of such beauty, because apparently she was born beautiful. She reveals her family's fixation on her looks and how adults sexualized her at a young age. A middle school teacher allegedly snapped her bra. And then another person apparently at the age of 13 said that, she was wanting to get fucked.
Okay.
Does this book have words that have more than 2 syllables?
I'm going to guess that it's probably going to be more of a
audiobook.
Will it be in
Braille?
Audiobook.
I like that audiobook. Yeah, too.
Well,
it could be a pop-up.
Will it be in Braille?
I don't know if that's a word. I just feel.
What am I feeling here?
If it's Braille, I will totally feel like Lincoln on Men in Tights with the Braille Playboy when the castle gets drug off.
Yes, absolutely. What are you doing, Blinken? I'm guessing.
Every time I have to do a news story with Anthony Blinken, I immediately think of Blinken. I just start laughing at him.
And
a Jew, yeah.
And honestly,
not a Jew,
the comparison works.
Jew.
What are you doing? I'm listening.
I heard that coming from a mile away. Who said that?
Oh my goodness. So we have that, and now the last thing. Actually, I have 2 last little items here.
2 last things. Got it.
Yeah, two more things to get your expert opinions on, because this is just so much fun.
I just called an expert.
20 years after filming the very first Spider-Man movie, Kirsten, I think. Kirsten, I believe.
Why not both?
Kirsten Dunst.
Dunst.
The chick from Jumanji. Got it.
Yeah, she has come out of the woodwork saying that, there was a severe gender pay gap when those movies were being made, when she was in them.
So?
Because she was a side character?
I mean,
I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure even when she was in that travesty of a movie known as Elizabethtown with Orlando Bloom,
ugh,
she was a side character making less money than Orlando freaking Bloom.
Yeah. I mean, why 20 years later? Okay, now after the success of the first movie, if you were paid $1 million as compared to Tobey Maguire's $4 million for being Spider-Man, fucking Spider-Man. With the success of the first one, wouldn't you go back to the table and say, "Hey, Sony, give me more money"?
Yeah, this is one of those things where you see it come out. Well, I really got screwed over, and whenever this movie was made, it's like, well, I don't know. Maybe just take it up with your agent who negotiated the freaking contract.
Yeah, I mean,
just a thought.
And of course, she was 19 or whatever when that movie was made. She said, because I was young, I thought, oh wow, I'm getting paid a lot of money for the Spider-Man movies, but definitely the men were getting paid more.
Well, duh.
Probably because Tobey Maguire and James Franco and Willem Dafoe, I don't know, were who the movie more centered around.
They had more lines
than her.
Yeah, I mean, she was the damsel in distress, and
she was the Mary Sue.
Yeah. Let's see. Willem Dafoe obviously was going to get paid probably the most out of everybody because he's
Willem freaking Dafoe.
I love him.
Tobey Maguire is obviously going to get paid a decent amount. Yes. Best movie ever for him. Then yes. Tobey Maguire playing Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man, obviously is going to get paid more than Mary Jane Watson. And then James Franco, I mean,
James Franco worked for weed. Let's not kid ourselves.
He worked for weed, strippers, and booze.
Exactly. All three movies. That's what he worked for.
Yeah. I mean, and more power to him. If it made him happy, it made him happy.
Exactly.
But 20 years after the fact, of course, now that, we saw the trailer for the new Spider-Man movie, which is apparently going to incorporate Tobey Maguire's universe and Andrew Garfield's universe. And, she's just got to grab a hold of whatever type of hot headline she can. And what better way to do it than to say, I wasn't paid as much as the men, and that's not fair. Scarlett
Johansson. Well, I mean, if she wouldn't sign on to do shit series on Showtime, where she's getting involved in some cult like multi-level marketing scheme. I mean, maybe she'd actually make some money.
Yeah, and nobody's going to accuse Kirsten Dunst of being the world's greatest actress. Much like nobody would ever accuse Scarlett Johansson of being the world's greatest actress.
I see a couple reasons why you could accuse her, but only a couple.
Yeah, that's about it. I mean, that one scene in The Avengers solidified her as the greatest actress ever.
Yes. She complains that when she was brought into the MCU, she was meat candy. It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
If you read the comics and see how she actually used her womanly wiles in the comics.
Yeah. You chose to play that role. They could have found somebody else. And same thing with Kirsten Dunst. They could have found somebody else to play Mary Jane. In fact,
unfortunately, they did.
2001. I mean, there were a handful of women they could have gotten to play that part at that time.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's
Alicia
not like
Silverstone was still. I think Alicia Silverstone could pulled it off in 2001.
Yeah, but she was already ruined after
she was starting to. Oh yeah, that's true.
Nobody was going to buy that after Batman and Robin.
Nope.
No.
And of course, George Clooney still not let his family see that movie.
Yeah, I blame Joel Schumacher for that movie more than anything. But yeah,
I mean, who doesn't love
Holy
Batman?
Rusted Metal Batman?
So, Tyler, let me get your expert opinion on this as
Damn it,
as
call me an
another
expert
male.
twice.
I know your expertly voice and the opinion here. Blondes, yay or nay?
Nah.
Thanks. That is such the expert opinion I was looking for. Hey, Nikki, blondes, yay or nay?
Meh. I am one. I don't see any problem with any color.
Hair color. I mean,
I'd rather have
red in
purple
head,
hair.
fire in the bed. I mean,
yeah, but with redheads, the carpet has to match the drapes. Otherwise, it's not a real redhead.
Yeah.
what if they're wood floors?
Oh man.
Well, work with what you got, I guess. So okay, let me get your opinion on this.
Okay.
Gen Z.
Kill them all.
Nikki?
I'm not going to answer that question. I might be arrested.
I think anything you say after Tyler would be okay, considering what he had to say.
Burn them all.
So the generation that contributes absolutely nothing, has contributed absolutely nothing, has not created anything, earned anything, made anything, apparently feels that blondes are now chiggy.
I don't even know what the hell that means.
CHEUGY.
Yeah, I don't get it. Chiggy.
I don't know this word.
Neither do
Is there
I.
a definition?
Let's see. Something that is untrendy and unstylish.
It sounds racist to me.
Sort of.
Well, they're discriminating against hair color. I mean, that's a whole different kind.
I will say there was a time where everybody wanted to be a blonde. And now, especially the late 90s, early 2000s, it was really the big thing. So the fact you don't have people going out of their way to bleach their hair to be as yellow, white, blonde haired as possible now, okay, I can kind of see that. But then again, I'm still pissed off at Gen Z because as a millennial, everyone includes them with me, and they're running down my generation even worse than they've run themselves down.
At least you have a generation. My generation's been forgotten. We don't even exist.
Lucky you.
No.
You don't.
No. I want to exist, damn it.
I'm a real person, damn it. Acknowledge me.
Notice me, senpai.
All right, Generation X is just sitting back watching the boomers and the millennials and Gen Z all try to kill each other, just going, yes, I'll bide my time. And
I've seen a meme
the world.
with the dude just smoking a joint watching like the two Karens go after it.
Yeah, that is Gen X right now.
Exactly.
I envy your position.
Now we just like to watch it burn because we're not included in anything. It just jumped over us. They went from boomers.
I don't want to be involved in anything. They keep dragging my ass into it.
That's true. Yeah, I mean,
I don't even identify with millennials because
no,
I do.
The thing is that
I do one of these. I do these. What generation do you identify? Do you associate with? It's always Gen X. Although there's sometimes I more closely identify between Gen X and Boomer. I was like, I don't even know how I skipped past to go to the other one.
I just think it's hilarious. People use that now as an insult. Shut up, Boomer. Dude, I'm not a boomer. Do you not know the age group? That's people like 60s, 70s. Oh my God.
Yeah, see, I'm with you, Tyler. I don't identify with the millennials at all. And mainly because I was born at the very beginning of that generation. So I wasn't raised the same way as a lot of the millennials because I didn't grow up with the internet,
Yeah,
in my house. I didn't grow up with all of
I
this
think
shit.
I was a freshman in high school when we got internet, and living out in the boondocks, much like those poor, poor maligned lumbies, it was only dial up.
And it was a struggle.
And it was a struggle.
You couldn't surf the internet like you liked.
Well, I could. It just took hours upon hours getting pictures to download.
Yeah, it took like days for videos.
One line at a time. Yeah, videos about that.
Yeah, AOL. I mean, I didn't have a cell phone till the end of high school because that's when they were finally affordable.
Didn't have
and even
one.
then, it was one of those things where you had the plan where you had 300 minutes and that was it. And if you use that up, oh my God, are you going to be paying for that? And it was
my parents,
just in case of emergencies.
Yeah, my parents are, fall into that boomer category. So the way I was brought up as a Gen Xer. I mean, that's just the reason why I can identify with Gen and millennial.
Well, I mean, you have a work ethic. I mean, I spent my 15th birthday at a job interview trying to get a job so I could earn money so I could start, working towards things that I wanted to get, like a car and things like that. I mean, that's what we did. And this current crop, I mean, they want everything handed to them. I went to school and I got a degree in women's studies and I don't want to pay back my student loans because I can't get a job. Well, you're the idiot who signed up for women's studies.
That's
so and now
my wife thinks it's funny. My wife thinks it's funny. She is 2 semesters from having her master's in special education, a bachelor's in. She already has her bachelor's and a associate's in business admin, and she's like, "I have all these, and you that's what I do, and all you have is like 3 college classes to your name."
I have an associate's degree in general studies with an emphasis on RTVF and journalism. I mean, Nikki, she's got a friend who has a communications degree that has done absolutely zero with it.
Yeah, communications degree, esthetician license. Sure, that was something else I forgot about, but yeah.
Nikki went to mortuary school and she's working in radio.
Nice.
No, not nice. Not nice. Worst decision I ever made. I'm so glad I got out of it. We thought that we would be cleaning house.
When I was in the Army, if I could have gotten into the Army mortician school, I would have done it.
Those people are some of the most. Oh, it's just. I think they were handing out pamphlets at the strip bars because there were. I swear to God, class behind me, there were like 5 strippers. It's like, how do you get that? I mean, hey, are you morally, ethically bankrupt? Would you like to make some money? Consider a degree and a career in the mortician field. Make people feel better. Yeah, it's awful.
And if you are morally bankrupt, you'll have zero qualms about taking people at their worst moment of their life and bilking them for tens of thousands they don't need.
See, and that's the thing. They're not able to get away with that anymore. I mean, you've got people back in the day, they actually cared about funerals. Now they're just like, dig a hole, put me in it. And the funeral business has really gotten hurt because of it, because, you're not having people, well, especially since the pandemic, you're not having actual funerals with, what do they call them? A viewing. You can't do that. And I mean, it's just,
people are getting smarter about it, and they're pre-funerals.
Oh, they shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that.
We have, this is going to be the dumbest thing, because this goes the way your phones listen to you. My wife and I, the church we used to go to, they have a workout day where members of the church come in, we'd all work out together. They had some gym equipment, chance to fellowship and, get her sweat on. It was mostly older ladies who were just, trying to stay active. And one of them was talking about they pre-bought their funeral. Something happened to them. There's a card in her wallet. Just show it to the ambulance driver. They know where to take her body.
Wow.
And after this conversation, my wife is scrolling through Facebook at home, and there's an ad for caskets.
You can buy one at Costco.
From Walmart.
Well, it's kind of best if you get your own, because if you're going to prepay for your actual funeral, odds are whatever it is you bought isn't going to be available. So, got that casket handy. Save some money.
Oh my God. Yeah. I just want to put a stack of wood in the backyard and just totally Jedi fire funeral.
I think a Viking funeral.
Yeah. They have a thing about boats in Missouri. It's kind of weird.
That is awesome. That is awesome though. I saw it. I was like, hey man, that's cool. That's a good idea.
Just whatever you do, whenever you set up the wood, in the whole stack of wood for you to be burned upon, make sure you don't include a cross. You don't want to send the wrong message to the neighbors.
Oh, that would be a horrible message. Like, well, it's a good Christian body burning. The cross is on.
We've started a wildfire because of this.
Where's coming from? What the hell? So why are they wearing pointy hats?
You don't want to attract the wrong crowd. You don't want that.
And don't do it in California.
Turned into a KKK rally in the backyard. What the hell?
Where's the beer?
Damn it, Cletus, go away. That's next week.
And like Nikki said, definitely don't do that shit in California.
Yeah.
Burn the whole state down.
Hey, they went out with a blaze. And a blaze of glory. Just not for California.
Exactly. So Gen Z hates blonde hair. That's the long and short of it. Gen Z hates blonde hair.
Well, blonde hair hates Gen Z, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
well, we need to come up with a new word. That's racist. So what? That's hairist?
Keggy?
That's colorist? Pigmentist.
Oh my God. It's melanist.
Yes.
That's dyeist. Because most people are dyeing their hair blonde. I mean, most people don't have.
See, that sounds more like you're anti-vegan, a dyeist.
That's true.
That's where my mind immediately went.
So apparently, yeah, it's no longer trendy to be blonde. So if you're a blonde, go dye your hair and make yourself as they call an expensive brunette.
I wish I could do that. I personally think that brunettes are better looking than blondes. I am so pale. If I do that, I'll look like Morticia. So I'm kind of screwed.
Don't you ever go brunette.
I've done it before. It doesn't look good.
You will never.
Well,
just go raven black. Just go to the absolute
worse.
extreme.
I want to do purple.
She will look like a Hot Topic threw up on her if she went like.
What are you talking about? I would be like the ultimate Hot Topic. I mean, you'd have Tim Burton wanting to make like statues out of me for a new movie. I mean, I'd be like a whole new character. Whoa.
Just immediately just raven black hair, the black eyeliner, black eye.
Sally would have nothing on her.
Pins in all of your clothes.
I think I would be way too frightening for Tim Burton.
Yeah, if Tim Burton looks at you and goes, "Okay, that's too fucked up for me," there's a problem.
Yeah, I'm so white that at a Rangers game up on, let's just say there was a albino, maybe 3 seats in front of us, and we were on the jumbotron. And people
there was an honest to God true albino.
I swear to God,
he was whiter than the albino.
And people are laughing.
Wow.
I mean, I call my shade Chernobyl white because I glow. It's awful. But
with
yeah,
no graphite on the ground. With no graphite on the ground.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, so since we've gotten through the stuff that is agonizing, otherwise pissing us off and infuriating us. Since it is Thanksgiving, the official kickoff of the holiday season, regardless of what anybody says, because retailers always try to start it earlier and earlier and earlier. No, Thanksgiving officially kicks off the holiday season. So, with it being Thanksgiving, and with us being three white people celebrating genocide by watching TV and eating a buttload of food, let's go around the table here and share something that we are actually thankful for in our white supremacist minds. So, Tyler, take it away.
Well, first of all, let me be inclusive and wish everybody a happy Ramahana Kwanzaa.
And if you know, you know.
You know, you know. I am thankful for all this whiskey over my shoulder, especially the Jack Daniels, because as we all know, that evil, racist bastard, Jack Daniel, stole the recipe from a slave named Uncle Nearest, and that is where we get our wonderful flavored Tennessee whiskey from.
Praise be to Jack. Praise be to Jack.
Praise be to Jack. And all those people said, drink.
So is that all you're thankful for?
Well, I'm thankful that I am still on this side of the grass.
There have been some close calls.
Oh, there have been some close calls. And, earlier this year, get a little serious note here. I did have a moment where my life ended really, really good idea. So lots of friends helped me out, got me through it. So to those friends who know what I went through, knew what I was going through, thank you so very much. I mean that from the absolute bottom of my heart.
Very good. Now that is nice and touching. Nikki?
I actually don't have anything snarky. I guess
you don't have to be snarky.
No, I mean, normally I would be, but I guess I'm just so thankful for what happened at the doctor Tuesday. The good news. I'm happy about that. So
go ahead and expand on that.
No, I want you to, actually.
Some people, no, you do it.
No.
It's not my body.
Therefore, not your choice.
Exactly. It's not my choice to share.
But I'm asking you to.
Go for it.
Oh my God. I don't want to. I really don't.
Her choice is that you explain it. There we go. Her body. She chose you.
It was good news. It was good news, and it put a whole new dynamic on things that we didn't think were possible. It's just money will come into play, and that will probably be the deciding factor of anything. That's all I can say.
So if anybody's been keeping track, there has been, one thing that most women want to do with themselves and have in their lives that has been very elusive for us, and that has been a child, despite, all the people who joke about having, a positive pregnancy test and scheduling an appointment at their local clinics and everything.
And I hope all those people burn in hell.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Yeah. So there has been a struggle in accomplishing that goal, despite all the practice. Stuff has just not happened.
Well, because we found out that actually there was a medical reason, and it's sad because if it was diagnosed sooner, maybe we wouldn't be in the situation that we are. But at least we know what's wrong. I'm getting better. I'm not as sick as I was. At one point, we thought that I was going to die. I'm still not feeling all that great. I went from being normal weight to gaining 40 pounds in 6 months? Is that?
Yeah.
Taking cancer medication that makes you extremely tired. I still struggle. I'm happy if I can be up doing things without having to lay down, because it's just that stuff just wipes you out.
So this past week, we were at the doctor, and the doctor was doing a couple of tests and scans, and based on what he's seen, the giant, massive grapefruit-sized tumor that is in her abdomen has shrunken and is obviously benign, so we don't have to worry about cancer. But it has gotten to the point where hey, maybe that family thing could actually happen through the. Of course, there will still need to be interventions of modern science.
Yeah, there's no
But
way it'll happen any other way.
but hey, that's a whole lot better than the thought of going through life saying, I can't have a kid. Everybody around me who has a kid who doesn't appreciate having those kids are assholes. So you know, so that
Man,
is the good news.
And it will come
Yeah.
back. The tumor will come back, but hopefully we can manage financially to move forward with this. I mean, it's funny. You've got insurance will pay for contraception. It will pay for abortions, but to bring a child into the world, no.
No, that's ridiculous. And
that's sad.
yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. My wife and I, we've been married for 18 years, almost 19 years. And none of our are ours. All of our kids are adopted. We've never gotten pregnant in, 18 years of marriage. So, I feel the struggle. And we've even used, we didn't go as far as in vitro, but we've done a lot of the medication stuff where, trying to pay for that. Fortunately, the Army was, helping with a big, I think, ended up several thousand in the pocket. And it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I saw a news story yesterday and I sent it to Robert. It says for $300,000, you can get a uterine transplant and actually have a chance to have a baby. And I'm like, wow, wish we had a $300,000 laying around somewhere. Because our doctor would be the one to go to. He's the best. Apparently, he's helped pioneer that.
Yeah, $300,000. Anybody can afford that. I mean,
You just have to,
might as well just be handing them out on the street.
I used to always joke about, you see the price of a, Chevy Suburban being $70,000-$80,000. It's like, well, are you going to if you buy one of those for that price? Living in a uterus at $300,000, that seems like a little cramped. That's
yeah.
That's like a New York City studio apartment price.
Yeah, and if you
the closet
and
of
got
a
the
studio
transplant, yeah, exactly, the closet. Now, if you paid the $300,000 for the uterine transplant and you had a kid, I mean,
it's worth it.
Expensive ass kid.
Definitely, that's a return on investment right there.
And that kid better go out and earn that much to make it.
That child had better cure freaking cancer
or something. I mean,
I spent $300,000 to get your mother a new uterus that you come out of. By God, you're gonna make me some money, kid.
Exactly. You're my retirement plan. Get to work.
You better be a pro all-star athlete or some another. It better not be some stupid sport like curling. Oh.
Yes, I did say LeBron. I'm sorry. We're to the part of the show where I'm supposed to be saying stuff we're thankful for, and I had to say LeBron James. I'm sorry. I take it back.
Thankful that I haven't. I am thankful that my podcast has not flopped like LeBron,
or been suspended like LeBron for a sucker punch.
That elbow shot.
It wasn't that great. I've seen better.
Yeah, he just caught the dude right on the brow ridge, and
I've seen better sucker punches at soccer games.
I've seen better flopping at soccer games.
That is very true as well. I never
he
flopped
was
in my life.
taking
Never
a
flopped.
penalty kick 20 feet from you, and you fell over holding your shin. What the hell?
Exactly.
That's not even believable.
It's totally believable. It totally happened. Did you not see it happen? It just happened. What are you talking about?
He whiffed the ball. The ball didn't even get near you. It didn't move.
It moved a little bit with the wind. The wind, the wind totally blew it away. So for me, there's so much to be thankful for. So much to be thankful for. Nikki, obviously. The derpy cat, the Japanese cat, and the Bengal cat. So the cats, because it's funny. Animals have that way of, you could be pissed off at the world, seeing red, wanting to kick everything around you, but you have a cat walk up to you with the stupidest look on their face, and you're just like, I can't be mad. They're somewhat disarming. So
as opposed to me, I have a parrot who will come up to the cage, to the edge of the cage, because he's out himself, and I'll be having the world's worst day, and he'll, his eyes will be pinning and doing all the body motions that say, I want you to pay attention to me. And then he'll try to eat my face, and then I'm mad at him.
Yeah. And
then he screams in my ear as loud as he can.
But you're no longer mad about what you were mad about before. Now you're mad at him.
No, now I'm trying to keep him from digging my eyes out with that giant beak.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it's all about...
Totally got my mind off what I was pissed off about. Yeah.
Exactly. So animals have that ability for some odd reason. I don't know how they do it. I guess they're just voodoo mystics or whatever. I'm thankful for the work that I have, the work that I do, the people that are impacted by it in some way, shape, or form, usually for the positive, and thankful for the friends and fam out there, the people I've met through my jobs, like you, Tyler. Very appreciative for all of that. So that's what I've got in terms of what I'm thankful for. Anybody care to add anything before we adjourn and close up shop?
No, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good close up. Very professional.
I try. You may have this notion that I do this for a living, or I just watch other people do it for a living.
Yeah, I spend like an hour on Saturday nights yelling at a microphone. I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Fake it till you make it.
And honestly, It's more fun that way. It really is just more fun that way.
In 3 years, I have taught myself a lot. I will say that.
Well, I mean, your setup has changed dramatically, and stuff is sounding better.
I went from a Blue Yeti to, actual expensive microphones.
Yeah, with
expensive boards.
Mixer. Yeah, I mean, you've got the Roadcaster and all that stuff. So, yeah, you're in the big time.
Yeah, and I actually have a friend in terrestrial radio. Yeah, that's actually still a thing. Weird.
I know.
And I told him about the upgrades I've made since doing this, and he's like, holy shit, you're actually doing this.
Yeah, I mean, it's really funny. And Tyler, you'll appreciate this. I was telling Nikki this earlier. There's a subreddit I subscribe to. It's all about podcasting, and every week, I kid you not, I see at least one post with the following: thinking about starting a podcast, what should I buy? Well, if you're just thinking of doing it, don't buy anything yet.
Yeah. When I started mine, I didn't Yeti microphone. It was loaned to me by my own nephew.
Yeah, so
and it was on loan for about 8 months before I got an actual studio condenser mic and an analog board.
And then since then, you've gone digital.
Partially digital. I mean, this is still analog, XLR cables but it's a lot less buzzy than that Behringer board I was running.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, and then there's always another person that will post, started a podcast. I've done 3 episodes. How do I make money?
No, stop it. No, don't eat that.
I'm thinking,
I'm
if you're getting into this thinking you're going to make money, you better stop now, bro. Better just stop
I'm
now.
breaking even at the moment. If you look at the 3 years I've been doing it, I'm still in the red.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm surviving literally on donations from listeners, and you've got the Built Bar thing. I've got the Built Bar thing going. If someone buys something, uses my code, I get a small bit of that. That's what I've got going.
Yeah.
I'm not making money.
Yeah, no, I mean, those people always drive me crazy, and or they'll say the other post will be, think about starting a podcast. What should I do? And they're
what
just looking
interests
for
you?
Yeah, and I'm thinking, and my response, if I notice that it's a fresh post and not a whole lot of other people have gotten in there and started corrupting this poor person's mind, I'll just, one, what are you passionate about? What do you want to talk about? What do you want to say? Don't think that you can just do this hodgepodge of stuff and people are going to be attracted to it. Do stuff that you are into, stuff that you want to talk about. Be real. Don't be fake.
If you are truly interested in it and people can sense that passion, they might not like what you have to say, but they'll be like, hey, he's really into this. I at least want to give him a fair shake before I decide not to listen to it.
Yeah.
And the people who are also interested in it, if they can listen to you and tell that you don't give a shit, you're talking about because it's popular, but you don't care, they're going to tell, they'll be able to tell, and you're not going to listen. You're not going to get listeners.
Exactly. And
it's like my one reviewer who called me a wannabe Alex Jones on Apple Podcast. Thank you so very much. That means a lot to me. Now I'm going to put some freaking chemicals in water and turn the freaking frogs gay.
Yeah,
now
exactly.
Now it's got to me to where I will drop an Alex Jones as, hey, if he thinks I'm a wannabe, I will wannabe all day.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, for me, I do this because it's my catharsis. I don't get to be on the microphone otherwise, because everybody that I work for, they're like, hey, you're a great producer. You're a great editor. You're a great this. You're a great tech guy. That's what we need. Oh, you can turn on a microphone and you can talk. Oh, yeah, we could talk about that down the road, but this is what we need you for. So, I play the game, but yeah. I have this stuff, so I might as well just use it. And I deal enough during the week with the news of the day, the politics, and all of the stuff that drives us crazy. I don't want to do that myself. One, because there's nothing I can say that you will not hear someplace else. I'm not an expert on any of that crap. Don't want to be an expert on all of that crap, because I will go insane. I will drive myself insane with that stuff. I will never be the next Ben Shapiro or Ben Ferguson or Mark Levin or insert name here, Steven Crowder, even though I don't understand how he's even Steven Crowder. I mean, you're not going
to know how he's Steven Crowder.
Yeah, that's true.
Go ahead. He revolutionized, using YouTube for political commentary. I mean, he was a game changer in it, and God bless for all the success he's had with it.
Yeah, but there's nothing I could say that would be different than what everybody else is saying, other than that one or two little lines that I just pull out when somebody's talking about something and I just immediately react to it. And
right,
it's something that nobody else has heard. Like, for instance, and Nikki will attest to this, thank God, because if I just told the story, nobody would believe me. Colonel Allen West was filling in for a local radio host on a conservative talk station here in Dallas. And Nikki was filling in for their news anchor. And she completely fangirled out on Allen West, which he couldn't understand. Yeah, but he couldn't understand how or why.
Yeah, it was funny. I was like, "Oh, you're Alan West." And I go, "Oh my God, Colonel Alan West! Oh my God, I love you! My dad loves you!" Ah!
So she's working a split shift, so I decide we would normally carpool. I get to the studios where she's at, leaving the studios I'm usually at, and walk into the building, and she introduces me to him. They take a quick picture together, and he's talking about something political, obviously, and I just reacted to something that he said just with the first thing that came out of my mouth. And he just stopped, looks at me and says, "I hadn't thought of that, and I hadn't heard that." Then he turns to Nikki and says, "You married a smart guy."
You had the same thing happen with Ben Carson too.
Yeah, recording a podcast with Dr. Ben Carson, same thing happens. He's talking about something, and I just react to it when he's taking a little bit of a break, and he comes back to me and says, "I hadn't thought of that."
Which is kind of strange, though. I would think he would have, but
yeah, I mean, at the time,
everybody has their blind spots, so I mean,
Well, he's a pediatric surgeon, and he was talking about abortion, the fact that people that can't have kids, it really upsets him. It was kind of like, figured he'd think of that, but okay.
You're looking at different angles of the same story and everything that some people just, he is so linear in his thinking that he probably doesn't see what's going on the outskirts. So
he seems almost on the spectrum at times when he gets so focused on things.
Yeah, it's funny.
Just an observation.
You're absolutely right.
Spectrum, I know. I see it every day. So,
yeah, but the thing is, like, having engaged the man in conversation and everything, I noticed it's not. I didn't get that vibe. The vibe I got was he has trained his brain to think step A to B to C to D, and then contingency for this, contingency for that. He's just so focused on this, it's hard to get the rest of it, because when you're operating on a child's brain, I'm sure that you don't necessarily want to be thinking, "Oh, a squirrel," like the rest of us, because I know that's what I would be like. I would be like, "Oh, squirrel. Oh, shit." Just slipped, so there's nothing I can add. I'm an expert at not being an expert. So I just talk the shit that I enjoy, whether people like it or not. Hey, whatever. That's why I open the platform for anybody who wants to come on and talk about whatever they want to. You could be the expert on something. I don't care. Well, Tyler, I appreciate you taking the time, brother. I hope you and your family have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and we'll do this again before Christmas, hopefully.
Hopefully. All right.
Because we've got some Christmas lists. We've got some Christmas lists that you should partake in.
Oh boy.
Or we could just make up our own. All right, man. Have a good one.
Yep, you too.
Before I go, I wanted to let you know that, hey, we have a website now. It's unwokepod.com. That's right, unwokepod.com. There you can catch up on all the episodes and check out some videos. And maybe in the future, there will be some new surprises along the way as well. Something that you might enjoy. What could it be? I am thinking about launching some merch, and if you want some merch, let me know in the comments. Let me know on Twitter at TV's Rob Official if you would like some Unwoke merch, because I'm thinking of getting together with a friend of mine who does some designs and designing some shirts and everything. I think we can have a lot of fun with it. So, with that being said, check it out, unwokepod.com. Special thank you to Tyler Morgan for coming on the show. And of course, to my lovely, beautiful wife, Nikki. You can follow her on Twitter at DFW Radio Girly if you want to check out what she's got going on. Give her a follow. You won't regret it, okay? Also, subscribe to the show on all the major platforms and leave a 5-star review and some comments on Apple Podcasts. Let me know how I'm doing. Let me know what you'd like to hear. And just basically just lie and say, I'm great, I'm wonderful, and you love the show, and you want to hear more, because it'll help the show get discovered, apparently, even though the podcast game has changed so much that I can't even begin to explain it. It has changed so much, but hey, leave the 5-star and leave a review. Again, I want to thank you for taking the ride along with me today. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time. I'm TV's Rob. This is TV's Rob is Unwoke.